Hello, and welcome back to Starfield. So we are on a mission down into NASA at the moment. We're going to finish that up. We've got a little bit of a museum to check out as well while we're here. So there might be a bit more text and dialogue in this one. I think then I'm going to take a bit of a brief breather where we're going to go and sell some of our stuff to the shops. I think some of the weapons that I'm getting a bit out-leveled for, like our old Maelstrom rifle and things, even though it's legendary. I'm probably going to go and put them on display at the house and drop some of the knickknacks off down there after this, so we'll probably do that. And then I'm considering, once I've sold off all my stuff and done a bit of an inventory management pass, I think we'll go and start an outpost up for the first time. So it's probably going to be a bit chill for a while, for an episode or two. Possibly 3, but we'll see how it goes. Depends how long it takes to do it all. For now, let's go through all this. Oh, we're just reading. Hoping it was going to be like a a voiceover thing, but no. Developed for Apollo to meet the moon. It was a single nozzle liquid-fueled rocket that could generate over 6 million newtons of thrust. 5 of these would be used on the Saturn V. The super heavy lift launch vehicle, the power the F-1 was critical in providing the necessary lift to launch rockets from the surface of Earth toward the stars. Ooh. In 2150, they predicted the destruction of Earth. Atmospheric phenomena would cause breathable air to sputter outside of Earth's gravity, dooming all life that remained. We had 15 years until the end, and NASA 50 years until the end has given NASA and other space agencies around the world the opportunity to migrate humanity away from certain death and into the stars. Thanks in part to the development of the grav drive, humanity will live on. Right. Steal a desktop sundial there. There's a space rock display.
I think you need to get rid of some of that gear.
Every time we say it, I swear. No more bits and bobs up here, is there? We'll just go around and check everything. Oh, we've got some medical supplies. Right. Okay, looks pretty empty and dead up here. Eagle module. The lunar module Eagle was the first crewed spacecraft to touch down on the moon. Its counterpart was the command module Columbia, which the lunar module needed to both separate from and eventually reattach to. Columbia would take astronauts to and from the orbit of the moon, while Eagle would bring them to and from the surface. Alright, yep. What have we got? NASA partnered with Nova Galactic, the creators of the Voltaire supercomputer, on an ambitious aerospace project to pull gravity itself. The result is the first spacecraft capable of faster-than-light travel. The first successful voyage saw astronauts reaching Jupiter in moments what would have previously taken years. And that's the recording we'll listen to, isn't it? Right. While long-term missions in space began in the late 1990s, with programs such as the International Space Station, humanity began living on other planets almost 100 years later. Some outposts of 5 or fewer scientific research teams eventually gave way to an entire colony effort on Mars and other orbiting bodies around our solar system. Right. A long-term mission. Oh. Same thing. Nice partner with Nova Galactic. Yep. So these are all kind of repeating themselves now. Right. Looks like we've probably seen most of it then. Oh, fully expecting to be here for a good half hour or so almost, but oh well. Look for the opportunity over on Mars. Oh, we can do that apparently. Launched in 2003, allowed for remote exploration and study of Mars. 2 twin rovers were made, nicknamed Spirit and Opportunity. While Spirit ceased communication functions in 2010, the Opportunity continued until 2018, exceeding its initial planned time by 14 years. So we can probably go there. Looks like it's a little side activity if we want. Maybe it's like a sort of pseudo Easter egg, probably a little nod to the actual NASA project and that. Right. Okay, looks like we're close to being done. Yeah, I think these are mostly duplicates. This might be a new one. And that might be a new one. Let's have a look. Adapted from a design originally intended for high-altitude aircraft, the Mercury spacesuit would undergo several modifications to deal with pressure, oxygen, thermal conditions. Even though the cabin of the Mercury spacecraft itself is protected against the rigors of space travel, redundancy has always been key. In the event that the cabin were to depressurize and expose astronauts to the vacuum of space, their Mercury suits would be able to offer a critical extra layer of defense. From 1958 to 1963, one of humanity's first human spaceflight programs, the Mercury spacecraft was designed to fit a single person who would be sent to test a person's ability to function in space. 6 flights in total were launched, the first being 15-minute suborbital flight, the last being 34 hours and 22 complete orbits. Gemini. 1965 to 66, in many ways, Project Gemini was a learning mission. While the ultimate goal was to put a human on the moon, many questions had to be answered before that project. Gemini was tasked with answering how a person could survive in space over many days, how to connect spacecraft together, and how to improve spacesuit technology to operate outside of spacecraft. Mercury space helmet is apparently quite good and has a sensor array. Ooh.
Oh, for God's sake. Drop some of that rubbish already.
No. These are surprisingly good. It's just, unfortunately, none of them are actually legendary or anything, because otherwise we would absolutely be putting those on. 68 to 72, Project Apollo was the first successful program to put humanity on Earth's moon. The first moon landing that occurred on July 20, 1969 was the 11th flight, with all previous launches testing all the modules, orbits, and other critical data needed to ensure the astronauts could reach the moon and return safely. Right, got to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple check everything. Right, 71 to 72, the lunar rover was used for the first Apollo missions and could carry 2 astronauts. The chevron tread patterns on the wheels were made from titanium to help maintain traction on the surface. The rover was also fully electric and ran on batteries, whose power was intended to last for the duration of the mission. Right. Then in that case, I believe we've touched on all of the different things that are here that we can see. Don't think there's any more here. Right, I think we're good to go. Well, there we go. We've learnt a bit about space flight. Okay. here we have personal
I
recording.
just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith,
But you had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Maybe he's a starborn. Dun 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 dun. Right. What's in the rest of the place down here? Probably gonna be complete crap in these. Oh, there's some zero wire though. Right, what else have we got?
They were clearly testing space habitat viability in this area. It seems as if they knew the inevitable was on the horizon.
Well, they definitely knew. They knew for 50 years. We've established this separate. Did you not pay attention to the exhibit that we just went through? Right. Right, we can go into both of these, so... Always check the other room in games, eh? You never know when there's going to be treasure. But here it just looks like there's an old thermos. Right. Okay, so what have we got in here?
Not much left of this geology laboratory. Ironically, the surrounding rock appears to have sealed the fate of this part of the facility.
There's not much here either. There's some amino acids we
Okay,
can
that's
grab.
it. Time to sell some of your junk.
Right. What else have we got? A load of rubbish. Digipick. Hmm. Can't jump for some reason. There we are. Looks like there isn't anything down here, is there, as well? No. Okay. Right. We'll head on further into the facility. See what's down here. Expert, eh? Oh dear. Right. Auto slot one in. Okay, does the auto slot not always put the right one in? Okay, I guess it was. For some reason I didn't see all the... I didn't notice that there were more than one of these single ones there. Didn't really look close enough. Right, we could put that there and this there. We need to solve the one below really then, don't we? So looking at the one below, I could put this here. And then... that there. Okay, I think that's it sorted. Might as well use them now. Because I can be building those auto slots back up then. Right. No point just stashing them forever. Right, okay. What else have we got? Not a lot, right. Okay. Now it goes. There we are. Right. More dead ends. Destroyed stuff. Ooh. Oh. Right, remember where we saw it? Okay, more stuff. Advanced locked door. Ooh, it's got some stuff in there, but right, we can do that. That's not going to be this one, is it? No. Right. Not going to be this either. That can go somewhere. This probably cannot. This, well, it looked promising. Okay. And there we could get a... That would be correct, yep. Okay. That can fit there. Which would leave that to go in there. Sorted.
Done.
Really? Whatever then. Probably barely worth getting stuff in, getting in for that. NASA maintenance key though, that could be helpful. So that might save us doing a lockpick later. Right, and some more power cells. Okay, so somewhat useful, at the very least. Right, let's see what we've got down here then. So, nothing really that way. I can't like boost up through there or anything now. They're really hammering it in like, hey, you probably want to carry some of these power supply things with you. We know that we forgot to really utilise this all the way through the game, but we've suddenly decided to here, and we just want to make very certain that you've got your that you know that you've got a few available. Right. Right, has that unlocked anything up here for me to be able to get into this, I take? No, maybe. Right, I've got a maintenance key. Sealant. Sealant.
There's a huge difference between being prepared and carrying too much.
Random tools. Magnet. Battery. There's not like a vent I can climb up through to get over to that side, is there? Unfortunately not. So do those pipes go into the rock then? Right. We'll keep going further, maybe we'll find a way that loops back around later on. Right. Some water, some sealant. Keep pushing through up here. Ooh, destroyed, isn't it? Don't think we'll be able to squeeze into there quite at the moment. Right. I've got here sealant, zero wire, molecular sieve. And through here. We'll put a turret in. Okay. Uh-oh. And that hurt a lot. Okay. Shotgun for this range, I think.
Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest.
Uh-oh. Ooh. We're actually getting a bit torn up here.
Well, look at that. It appears we found one of Vasco's long-lost relatives. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to find out.
Probably might not want to mention it since we blew them to smithereens, but yeah. Right. Right. Let's have a look. Because it looks like there'll be a fair bit of stuff here. Oh, hang on. What's this? Advanced lock leading... Okay. Before we start doing locks and things, let's... Is there anything back here first? No, so this is clear. Just highlight all the objects. I'll say the scanning mode is useful just for that. Just being able to go Oh look, I can see all the things I can pick up and interact with now. Very useful just for that. Right. Control rod. Looks like that's most of it. Where did the robot go that were here? I think there was a robot, wasn't there? Or just 2 more turrets. Right. Looks like it's down there then. Before we do that, does this finally lead to that room? No. Oh. Wait a minute, we can just bypass the door. Okay.
Why are you bothering to carry all that junk?
Right. Yeah, I don't think we'll be needing to access the turret control anymore. Right. What do we have down this way then? Right. We'll head down.
This is quite an impressive facility. The logistics it must have taken to build it this deep underground. It's astonishing.
Uh-huh. Right. Let's get through here. What have we got? Security procedures. Check all badges before allowing access. Yes, even for generals, I don't care how angry they get. These are orders directly from the secretary. Absolutely no phones or recording devices. All written materials, clipboards and notebooks are to be checked on exit from the labs. Confiscate anything with confidential information on it. Access station logs. Archives damaged. Run system recovery. Partial archives retrieved.
Project log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us? It's all going to be possible.
project log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjet test from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
Right, so she's worried about the possible side effects of it. Guess these lead to the same place. Oh, zero
If there's
G
a way
area.
to access the deeper sections of this storage area, I'm certain we'll find it.
Right. Okay, it all goes down from here then. Did all the stuff in here just move randomly? Because I went into a zero G area over there. Oh, I bet that's a bug that they've not figured out yet. Bethesda Game Studios, eh? Right. I'll probably guess that and then one of these. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be that one. It's probably going to be that and then the two single ones, isn't it? Most likely. Or that and the single one. Yeah, this wouldn't fit below. So let's solve the one below. This can no longer be used, so that's useless. That's got to be a false positive. The one below could be that, and then yeah, you'd need the two single ones. Could be that, and then a single one. Just like this. Yep, that and single one. That. And the last. There we are.
I think we've done that before.
Okay. Definitely a lot of locks around here, I'll give it that much. That could work. Right, this one. Not gonna work, is it? Right. That can work there. Right, that works. Okay. Ammo. Oh. Suppressed calibrated old earth shotgun. Because it's a calibrated variant, that's actually a really, really good shotgun. An exceedingly good shotgun even. Right. So it was worth going in for. Oh. Uh-oh. There's no above. I'm guessing that they all lead to like the same areas below. Most likely. And that's not a room, that's just a wall. Maintenance key, okay. Good. Yeah, this is the stairwell we found earlier, it looks like. It looks like there's another floor that would have been below us that we might be able to go through. But I'm saying this, I don't think there's actually much we can really, loot and things here. Yeah, there's the pipe room as well. They all seem to lead down the same areas. And it seems to be pretty barren of stuff in case we were here going, oh yeah, I really want to... Oh well, there's at least a chest there. It had a magnet inside. A full entire magnet. Wow. Right, let's get on with it.
All that junk you're hoarding is seriously slowing you down.
What do you mean it's slowing me down? There's zero gravity here. Right. Take it that this is the first ever grav drive and it's just been left on for whatever reason and somehow hasn't gone out, like been out of power, I'm guessing. How do we get into that room then? From above, or that might be the answer there. Let's have a little look, shall we? Yep, we're in here. Oh, there's a dead person down here. Is this also the area we came into earlier? Yes, it is. Right. All loops on the loops and loops that loop. So if we go in here... on, sliding a bit. Oh. Here we go. Apparently this guy had his entire life savings on him at the time. Another maintenance key in case we didn't have it. Right, prototype drive. Please be careful whenever running power through the prototype, secure all loose objects, and have researchers empty pockets and remove jewelry, watches, etc. Reminder that the core of the drive contains a specimen that is irreplaceable and all data is under the strictest clearance. Exercise all caution with all research materials and ensure information does not leave this lab. Right.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
Oh, this one isn't voiced. Are we sure it's not voiced? If I click it again? No. This one isn't for some reason. Right, to Joseph Tetienne Victor Eisen Lan Zhu, August 21st, 2149. As requested, the astrophysics research team has done full analysis of the data you provided. The measurements of Earth's magnetosphere show clear signs of fluctuation, often in correlation to the periods of frequent and large gravity wave spikes emanating from the Moon. They seem to be affecting the magnetic shield provided by the Earth's inner core, and may be affecting the core itself. Give the proximity to the source, probably meant to be given, I guess, rather than give. The data indicates the change rate is increasing exponentially as our magnetosphere falters. Its ability to protect us from the subsolar winds falters. Beyond the devastating effects of solar radiation, this will lead to something more dire, the sputtering or stripping away of our atmosphere. This has happened before to Mars, a planet studied since the earliest days of space. To see into Earth's possible future, we are afraid this future may be closer than we ever thought imaginable. Some may view the data as normal. There have been historical fluctuations and polarity changes of Earth's core, but this is orders of magnitude greater. We see echoes of previous generations' debates over global warming, and what we want the science here to be clear. Like waves in the ocean, the gravity waves rise and eventually crash into shore, the Earth, with devastating consequences. Dr. Luke Andrews, ART Chief Scientist. Right.
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life
Oh, there's
to
more.
this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Right, there we go. We've got an artifact to retrieve. I don't think there was anything particular around here, was there? No, not really. Right, we'll go and grab it. The question is, how do we... well... yeah, right, we have to go through here, I guess. Into the stairwell now. Oh yeah, the stairwells. We have to go up one. So I guess this way, possibly. Wait for our CO2 to go back down. Whatever reason, vaulting seems to take up, well, to generate an absolute load of CO2, yeah. Cargo Christ. Right. And then we very carefully, without burning for all our oxygen again, go through here. And we will then grab it. And that looks to be... yep.
Carrying too many odds and ends. That's something
We need to discuss what you found. And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
And I think that's probably the perfect time to stop. It looks like we are going to be under attack. Right. So, we'll call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Starfield, and as I mentioned at the beginning, probably not much will be happening in this episode, and it hasn't. But it's all been just basically a big lore dump for us there. So just discussing what we've kind of gone over. It looks like basically this Victor has essentially touched this artifact that he found on Mars, and this was the first artifact, and he says he met himself, so possibly a starborn version of himself who he met, and they've essentially told him about everything that would happen. So the grav drives essentially created themselves, you know. They exist because the Starborn told him how to create them. And the Starborn probably know how to make them because the Starborn in their universe told them how to create them. So it's a paradox then. Right. Like a chicken, was it the chicken or the egg that came first type scenario? Which, by the way, if you've ever wondered that one, it was the egg because, other species laid eggs before chickens. But yeah, it's what's it? Yeah, so it looks like that's basically led to the grav drives, and the grav drives have been developed from studying the artifact using these equations, but then they've had a flaw with them that's caused these gravitational anomalies on Earth that's destroyed its magnetosphere due to all these ships taking off from it that have manipulated its gravity, and that's caused the atmosphere to escape. So basically we lost Earth but gained the galaxy, essentially. However, you do wonder why the Starborn that went back couldn't have just told him, oh, and you'll screw this up and it'll cause you to blow up Earth. Here's the patch, the hot fix for the software to fix that, just so you don't do that again. Then you can have everything, because we're greedy sods. Because if there's anything we've learnt about the Starborn, it's that they're definitely greedy sods that want it all. That's kind of their thing. So don't know why they wouldn't have told him the answers to that one, since it looks like they've figured out a patch to the grav drives to fix them. You think that the Starborn would have told them, but again, this is all assuming that he met a Starborn, possibly a Starborn version of himself, in his vision or whatever it was. Whether it was a vision or a meeting after which he passed out, but who knows. Either way, we need to get out of here. And we then probably want to go and drop off a little bit of our excess stuff, resources and things. We'll get all our stuff dropped off. We'll head back to the ship. Well, we'll head back to the ship, get our stuff either sold or stored. And then we're going to drop a few things off at the house. Just decorating things, put some old weapons up on the wall. And then I'm planning on possibly putting together a small outpost just to kind of try it out, try it on the size and that. We'll need some materials. And once we have got a little outpost set up, I think then we're going to start. I think I've looked as well. We are about 3/4 of the way through the main story at this point. We are approaching essentially the final act. Basically, this kind of marks, that meeting with them kind of marks the beginning of the final acts of the game. So we'll need to decide if we're going to do the faction quests. So faction quest wise, we are apparently nearly done, because I've basically looked up a list of the quests. I've not clicked on them for any spoilers or anything, just literally a list of the names of the quests in order that you do and the different factions. So there's loads and loads of side missions, but if we're going to do, say, the faction quests before we call it here, we've nearly done with the 3-star ones. And we've got the others to kind of start with. So we've barely even started with the United Colonies. We've got apparently the undercover one that we've got, which is, if I look, yeah, the burden of proof and deep cover are for the Crimson Raiders. I don't know if you actually can join them during that, not that we would want to, but the Ryujin Industries is apparently a set of faction quests as well. And that's kind of it. So there's 4 factions of which you can do all the quests for. Like I said, we're pretty much probably like 2/3 done with the 3-star rangers. So if we can finish these, there's only a few more. We're more or less done. And the others are of similar length, so we can probably do some of the others, and we'll probably do the where was it? First contact quest, and if we come across a couple others. I've also heard good things about, apparently, the Mantis one. You get a free ship out of it, so I might want to go and have a look into that as well. But yeah. But it looks like we are, and you can kind of see from the missions here that we're getting for the what's it, for Constellation, even just the names of them, you know, Final Glimpses, Mist Beyond Measure, you know, you can get that they're kind of heading toward a final act now with Constellation. So we might do those, we'll at least finish 3-star Rangers and the that generational ship mission. We'll at least do those, but I think we'll probably touch on, I think maybe we'll look into Ryujin Industries maybe and see if we're interested in continuing that all the way through. We'll at least get some started, you know, see which we fancy finishing off, and when it's all done we'll finish off the main storyline and call it there. Right, thank you very much for watching. This has been Starfield, and I will see you in the next episode where we'll be getting out of NASA. I'll see you then.